Hey folks, for this screencast, I have a pretty nerdy video to talk to you about, and it's about this book called Ready Player One. So, this book came out in like 2011, 2012. I guess this is the newly released one. And then they made a movie remake here with some characters and things like that. When I first watched the movie, I absolutely loved the fact that they could like get into this VR world. There was all of this nostalgia, like the DeLorean was in it. Like I really liked the video game aspect, and I liked it so much that I went and bought the book. Well, the book was like 10 times better, but also like completely different. So I put together this like comprehensive guide here that talks about the difference between the book and the movie. And so I kind of wanted to go through that. And then I also wanted to show you some of the games that you can play. I have Terminal over here, and I've actually been able to download some of the games. And so let's jump right into it. So in the book, the game starts out with this quest from the guy who creates the Oasis. And the way it goes is 3 hidden keys open 3 secret gates, wherein the errant will be tested for worthy traits, and those with the skill to survive these traits will reach the end where the prize awaits. Now, it turns out in the movie, it's actually a little bit subtly different, but he kind of basically says the same thing. Now, what's interesting is in the book is that Parsifal and H are friends, and then Parsifal and many Gunters actually find this clue in the book. So in the movie, there's this thing called Halliday's Journals, and it's like this place that you go to in the Oasis to like learn stuff. Well, in the book, it's just this like huge almanac, and you have to like sift through it to read it to learn stuff. Well, they found this extra clue that says, hey, the copper key awaits explorers in a tomb filled with horrors, but you have much to learn if you hope to earn a place among the high scorers. In the movie, there is that doesn't happen. This race just like magically appears. And by the way, I have some like YouTube videos and stuff in here, but the problem is, as soon as I hit play, I feel like I'm going to get hit with an ad. No, it's not. So yeah, so there's this race here that they have to battle through, and there's like Kong and stuff like that. That was a really awesome scene, but turns out not in the book at all. In the book, the tomb filled with horrors is actually a D&D reference to the Tomb of Horrors. And so in the book, Parsifal actually has to find the Tomb of Horrors, get to the Tomb of Horrors, and then he has to battle the Lich King Asarak. But it turns out that rather than battling him, he plays this game called Joust. And so it turns out you can actually download a ROM of Joust. And if you get this program called Mednafen, let's see, arcade hits, GBC here, error opening sound device, whatever. So you get to play, this is a Game Boy Color version. And I can only imagine, let's see, so play Joust, hit A. So the way Joust works is like you're this like flapper, right? And you have to jump on the enemies, right? So the enemies come over here and you have to jump on them, and that's how you kill them. And he's basically like traveling, Parsifal's traveling through the Tomb of Horrors, gets to the Lich King, and he thinks he's going to battle them, and instead he has to play Joust. And then he wins Joust. In the movie, there's like that crazy race is like a Mario Kart, Burnout, Back to the Future, Kong reference, Jurassic Park. By the way, Kong was invented in 1933, which is just absolutely wild. And then the funny thing is that in order to win, Parsifal actually finds a clue in Halliday's Journals about like, hey, why can't we go backwards like really fast? See, Liberty Mutual. Anyway, so I don't want to watch the YouTube videos, unfortunately, because I'm just gonna get hit with ads. Now, another major difference between the book and the movie is that when you get the key, right, in the movie, you immediately get the second clue to the second key. In the book, you actually get an extra, what's it called, clue to go through a gate. And so the clue is what you seek lies hidden in the trash on the deepest level of Daggerath. Well, the trash is a reference to the TRS-80, this like computer that not many people know about. And then you have to play this game called Dungeons of Daggerath. And again, you can get a ROM for that. It's not working on my computer really well, but there is an online version, so you can play. And it's like a text-based game. Ooh, that's really loud. Mute. Okay, there we go. So the way it works is you have to like type in. So if I hit like examine. That's not going to work. It's not going to know what that is. Examine. No, how do I mute this again? Function. There we go. So then I can like, let's see, use, I don't know, pull, right, pine torch, right? So I can like say what I want to use, and then I can say use right. So now I'm using the torch, and then if I look, now I can see where I'm going, and oh shoot, there's a snake, right? So I need to examine again. I need to pull left wooden sword, okay? And then look, and then use left to attack. Use left, attack. And you have to do this like text-based. I'm really bad at this game, so I'm just going to X out of it. But anyway, so when Parzival gets the first key, he then has to travel to this other planet, play Dungeons of Daggerath, beat it. So he's in this like VR headset playing this ridiculous text-based game, and then he has to do a lip sync challenge where the movie War Games with Daniel Broderick, or whatever his name is, Matthew Broderick, sorry. He has to play that character and actually say the lyrics in cue, or he gets like, X'd and he gets points taken off. Okay, so then he gets the jade key. Sorry, he gets the copper key. He goes to the TRS-80, plays Dungeons of Daggerath, makes it through War Games. He goes through the key, and then it's the next clue, again, completely deviating from the movie. The captain conceals a jade key in a dwelling non-neglected, but you can only blow the whistle once the trophies are collected. Now, in the movie, it's a creator who hates his own creation, a hidden key, a leap not taken, retrace your steps, escape your past, the jade key will be yours at last. So Artemis and Parzival attend this like party with the great. They say it's not really Ogg's party, but it's like this party. And so let me get rid of that. And then Parzival says his real name. This guy IROC hears it, uses it to find out where he lives. Sorrento from IOI tries to kill Parzival after he turns down Iowa's offer. Then he gets abducted by the rebellion and actually meets Artemis in person. Unfortunately, in the book, IROC is actually kind of a punk kid. Tells everybody that H and Parzival attend the school on Ludus. Sorrento uses Parzival's school file to find where he lives, where he lives. Sorrento tries to kill Parzival after turn down the offer, but now that his flat is destroyed, he doesn't get abducted and meet Artemis. He actually moves to Columbus. He was actually in Oklahoma City. Then he hacks into a bunch of federal files, gets a new name, gets new fingerprints. Now that he's famous in the game, he uses all the money to buy an asteroid in the game. He gets a massive new spaceship based off of the Serenity from Firefly. Artemis and Parzival do get super close in the movie, but then again, he also blows it at Ogg's party. The Sixers attack just like in the movie. And then actually Artemis and Parzival take a break. So they haven't met at this point in the book. Well, so then while they're separated and Artemis is looking for the keys and Parzival's looking for the keys, Parzival goes down, tries to figure out this clue, and ends up playing a perfect game of Pac-Man. And you can actually play Pac-Man on the computer. There's so many different ways that you can play Pac-Man. I'm also really bad because I'm using the keys. But, there we go. And I'm dead. Okay, great. But you can play Pac-Man on there. So he's playing Pac-Man, plays a perfect game, gets an extra life. In the movie, he talks to the curator, who is Ogg. We don't know that yet. And then in Halliday's journals, he makes a bet with the curator and then gets the free life. So they both get a free life in the movie and the book, but the way they get it is different. Now in the movie, Kira, Ogg's wife, is a main character of the movie, and the creator, James Halliday, went on a date with Kira and watched The Shining. So what they did is that they put The Shining in the movie, and they kind of recreated a lot of scenes and stuff like that. And they find the key in there. In the book, it's completely different. You have to play another text-based game. So there's a game called Zork, right? So if you play Zork, there's a mailbox here. You can open the mailbox. You can take the leaflet. You can also, go north. You're facing the house. You can open the window. It's completely... Oh, what? The windows are barred. I want to go east. There's a window that's slightly ajar. I can open the window. I can enter the window. And then you can do all this stuff and you can grab all this stuff, right? So it's, again, completely text-based, just like Dungeons & Daggerath, but there's zero viewpoint. So again, Parsifal's in this like visor virtual reality playing Zork. But I forgot the really cool thing about the way they did Zork in the book is that they actually turned Zork into a real life house. So rather than playing the text based version, he actually plays Zork in real life. And again, you can play Zork on the computer here just by installing it, which is pretty sweet. Oh nope! I just want to quit. Yes, I wanna leave. I'm a beginner. Anyway, so after they play Zork, they get the Jade Key. Now, what's interesting is in the book, after Artemis, H, and Parsifal find the Copper Key, the Sixers, the IOI, have been like putting force fields all over the different challenges. And so when Artemis is actually like the best in the book. So Artemis finds the Jade Key first, but Parsifal gets the key first because he's better at Joust. But then Parsifal gets the Copper Key first because he's better at Joust, but Artemis was the one who ultimately found the Copper Key first. And then Artemis again finds the Jade Key first, and then the Sixers use this thing called the Tablet of Finding to find that they're on Phobos, which is the planet that recreates Zork, and then there's this all-out, like, insane battle. Like, Sixers are coming in, Gunner clans are coming in, like, everything's blowing up, and Parsifal sneaks in with his ship, cloaked, lands, does the mission, flies away. Now, after that, again, you have to, when you get the key, there's another test. Remember, in the movie, there's no gates. In the book, you've got 3 keys, 3 gates. So the next riddle is continue the quest by taking the test. And, Dido's killed in real life. His avatar is killed as well. He actually gets thrown outside a window. It's pretty tragic because IOI is just doing everything they can to get him through. But when Parsifal gets the Jade Key, it's in a wrapper, and he does the wrapper, and he realizes that the wrapper is a nod to Blade Runner and the unicorn. So when he says unicorn, the wrapper turns into a unicorn, and he's like, oh, I know exactly where to go. I need to go to the recreation of Blade Runner. I need to take the test to be a replicant in Blade Runner. And then when he goes into the Jade Gate, rather than having to play War Games, right, the movie, he actually has to play a game called Black Tiger. So BLK Tiger, right? So this is using MAME, which is an arcade. These are like arcade games. So I don't even know if you can play these in real life. Maybe some old school people have like these arcades like in their house, which would be pretty dope. But rather than playing this game, Parsifal, basically everybody who gets this key, through this gate, has to actually become the character and play Black Tiger and win. So Parsifal again, becomes that character and gets the Jade Key. Then, the riddle for the Crystal Key is, instead of a riddle, the Crystal Key was inside a red star, and the red star was obviously Rush and the Temples of Syrinx. So Parsifal knows, okay, all I need to do is travel to the planet Syrinx and do the challenge, which is based on the lyrics of the album Rush 2112. Oh, and then by the way, everybody who completes the Jade Gate gets a robot. So that's where Sorrento gets the Mechagodzilla. Parsifal actually picks in the book Leopardon, which is a Japanese Supeda man. Apparently Spider-Man used to fly in a robot. I think someone gets the Iron Giant, someone gets Voltron, like a bunch of people get different robots. In the movie, like people just kind of have it. Now, I can kind of fast forward a little bit here. After the everybody gets the Jade Key in the movie, which is the Kira and the Shining. The clue is, if you know the answer ultimate, divide it by the number magic, and what you need, want, and desire will be found in the Fortress Tragic. The Fortress Tragic is Castle Anorak, so I'll get to that later. But in the book, there's a bunch of stuff that happens on Syrinx. He does this challenge. He looks at the key when he finally does the challenge, and the key has a red letter A, and he's like, oh, A for Anorak, it's in Castle Anorak. Now, one thing, during the challenge, you have to pick up a guitar and move it to a temple. Parsifal plays the song Discovery, and he actually gets an extra clue, which is the first was ringed in red metal, Copper Key, the second in green stone, the Jade Key, the third crystal clear, the Crystal Key, but the gate crystal gate, and it cannot be unlocked alone. So Parsifal knows that the last gate has to be opened with multiple people, but Sorrento and IOI don't know that because they didn't do this, right? So they go straight to the third gate. They already have the crystal key. They go straight to the third gate, but they don't know how to open it. Now, of course, in the movie and the book, the same thing happens. Irok uses the Orb of Osavox, creates a force field around Castle Anorak, and then Artemis brings it down while inside because she becomes a captured IOI employee. Parsifal then gets everyone to attack Castle Anorak. There's a crazy battle with Mechagodzilla. Sorrento deploys the Cataclysm, blows up everybody, but Parsifal has that extra life, starts playing Adventure, which is the Crystal Gate challenge. Now, before we get to that, the book is a lot different. IOI doesn't have the extra clue that Parsifal had when he played Discovery on the guitar. So Parsifal gets captured on purpose, not Artemis. Parsifal gets captured on purpose. While inside, he hacks into their network, steals a bunch of files. He also schedules an atom bomb to detonate inside the castle to take down the level 99 wizard and the Orb of Osavox. So it's not Irok, it's just some random level 99 wizard. He then gets everyone to attack Castle Anorak. Then Og comes out of nowhere, right? Not the curator. Og in the book comes out of nowhere, flies everybody to Oregon, and then there's this huge battle. Voltron's there, Iron Giant's there, Leopardon's there, Mechagodzilla's there, and then Mechagodzilla actually destroys Leopardon, but then Parsifal has an artifact to become Ultraman and destroys Mechagodzilla. Oh, there's a Gundam in there somewhere too. So then Mechagodzilla's dead. Parsifal, H, and Artemis go into the gate. And the gate has a nod to 3 from Schoolhouse Rock. 3 is a magic number. So they realize that they all need keys and they all need to open the gate together. Right when they open the gate, Sorrento deploys the Cataclysm and everybody dies. But again, Parsifal has an extra life. Now, adventure doesn't happen right away. In the movie, I'm glad that they put adventure in there because of the Easter egg reference. But you actually, in the book, Parsifal had to play Tempest, which is another arcade game, and so this is not going to go well. But I'm going to increase my credits, and then I'm going to play. I think it's Control is here. So normally you have like a wheel, and you have to blow up all these things. But like the controls in this game are terrible. I'm sure I'd be a lot better in a arcade, but I stink. Anyway, Parsifal has to play Tempest, the arcade game, and get like a high score of like 800,000 points. And then he has to do another movie sync where he plays Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And once he gets through that, he then gets all 3 keys, all 3 gates. He gets transported to James Halliday's room. While he's in there, this is when they give a nod to Kira, because James Halliday could not talk to girls except for Kira, but he could only do it when he was Anorak and talking to Kira, who her D&D name was Lucosia. This is the 70s and 80s. You didn't have virtual reality. You're playing D&D at home with your friends, or you're playing text-based like crazy games. So he finds this computer in James Halliday's bedroom, types in Lucosia, all of these things turn on, and then what he realized is that if he's going to find an Easter egg, he ought to play Adventure on the Atari. And so I can play, I think Stella is the way to play it. That's another game, or another emulator. So I think it's like F2. Yeah, okay, so now I'm in Adventure. This is the easy version. I can get the key, and then I can get the sword, and then I can go fight the dragons. There's a dragon in here. Kill that dragon. Green dragon's dead. And then I can travel over here, and then I can kill the yellow dragon, and then I can so forth, and I can keep playing the game, right? There is a harder version of Adventure where there is a tiny Easter egg in it, where Warren Robinette was the creator of Atari, but he programmed it, but Atari didn't want the programmers to be on the game, so they removed his name from it. So then Warren Robinette put a secret in there. Right, back then they were just called secrets, not Easter eggs. He put a secret in there where his name was there, and then a bunch of people found it and were like, oh my gosh, Warren Robinette actually made the game. This is so cool. That's such a cool secret. And that's sort of the whole thing that sparked James Halliday's Easter egg. right? The last challenge that Parsifal had to do in the movie was just to not sign the forms because, again, there was like this fight between Og and James Halliday. They kind of talk about that in the book, but not really. There's not really that like tension. But there you go. So you've got the movie, which is like, a crazy race, The Shining, and then adventure, versus the book, which is like D&D, Joust, Dungeons and Daggerwrath, War Games, Pac-Man, Zork. You've got Blade Runner, the Unicorn, Black Tiger. You've got so many different robots, Rush 2112. You've got Ultraman. You've got the game Tempest, Monty Python, Holy Grail, Adventure. So many other different things. And so if you have not read the book, Ready Player One, I strongly recommend it. It's so freaking good. Ready Player Two is also even better. I stayed up till like 4 in the morning reading Ready Player Two. It's so freaking good. I'm going to quickly scroll through here. If you want to play Joust the way I did, you have to get Mednafin. You have to download the ROM. Here are some of the keyboard controls. Dungeons and Daggerwrath. You can play online. You can also play with MAME, but I'm having some trouble with the TRS Coco. Zork, you can play online. You can actually play on your phone using Termux. I just set that up the other day and getting Frot's PKG install. You can also run on your computer. Pac-Man, there's so many different ways you can play. Black Tiger is also with MAME, so sudo apt get install MAME. And then Tempest as well, same thing. Adventure, I couldn't get it to work with MAME, so I had to use Stella instead. Sudo apt install Stella. And yeah, I played the first version of Adventure. Tempest I can't really play. Black Tiger is like a side scroller, Metroidvania kind of style. And then, or Castlevania really. Metroidvania, Castlevania, same thing. Zork is super fun. I'm still trying to beat it. Dungeons and Daggerwrath I don't really like very much. I don't really like the visuals. I like that Zork is just like solely text based. And then Joust, I'm also really bad at that game. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the differences between the movie and the book. I haven't seen like a comprehensive difference between the two things on YouTube, so hopefully I'm adding to the the knowledge pool there. And I hope you get out to reading. Read a book, dude. Play some old school video games. Get it, have some fun. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great day.